Ajooni. The divine essence within us is eternal, Akal, and never comes into birth, Ajooni. It's never incarnated, has no parents, and is not bound by the limitations of being a person. Unlike everything we see in the material world, Oankar is beyond the cycle of birth and death. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. Everything in the physical world, the people we know, the objects we use, even the stars in the sky, have a beginning and an end. Birth and death, creation and destruction are the natural cycles of all things that come into existence. The moment something is born, it's already destined to one day perish. This is the law of time, and nothing physical can escape it. But Oankar, the eternal essence within us, the Satnam, stands beyond these limitations. It's not born, Ajooni, and will never die. It has no beginning, no end, no parents, no physical form. It's not a person or an entity tied to this material world. It's pure, infinite consciousness, untouched by the constraints of time, space, or matter. This eternal nature of Oankar reveals a profound truth about who we are at our core. When we identify only with our physical existence, we limit ourselves. We see ourselves as mere bodies, as individuals with fixed lifespan bound by time. This perspective leads to fear of death, loss, and of the unknown. But when we recognize that the Oankar within us is eternal, we realize that our true essence is not tied to the body. The body may come or go, but the divine within remains constant, unchanging, and beyond time, Akal Murat. The realization can be transformative. It reminds us that the things we often cling to, that status, those possessions, even our physical identities, are temporary. They are bound by the circle of birth and death, but the divine essence within us is timeless and infinite. When we connect with this eternal essence, we free ourselves from the fear of changes. We become nirpao. Living with the awareness allows us to shift our focus to what truly matters. The eternal values of love, compassion, truth, and connection, we absorb in them. We begin to see life as a journey where the physical body is a vessel and the divine essence within us is the guiding light. The next term of Mool Mantar is Saibhang. Oankar, the creator, is Saibhang. By Saibhang, Guruji means self-existent, not created by anyone or anything else. It exists on its own, independent and needing no support. The divine quality of self-existence holds a profound lesson for us, one that can transform how we see ourselves and live our lives. Let's start by contemplating what it means for Oankar to be Saibhang. Unlike everything in the physical world, which depends on something else for its existence, like parents for birth, air for survival, or the earth for sustenance, Oankar is free from all dependency. It is its own source, self-sustaining and eternal. This truth not only speaks to the power and completeness of the Creator, but also points us toward a deeper understanding of our own self. So when we internalize the idea of Saibhang, we realize something extraordinary. Within each of us lies the same divine essence that is self-existent and self-sufficient. This realization leads us to understand our own worth, not as defined by others, not measured by external achievements, but as intrinsic and unchanging. We begin to see what we are, that we are complete and whole just as we are. This realization liberates us. It frees us from the fears that so often weigh us down. The fear of loneliness, the fear of inferiority, the fear of being incomplete. Many of us go through life feeling we need someone else or something external to make us whole or complete. We look towards relationships, possessions, or societal validation to define our worth. But when we truly understand Saibhang, we see that our worth is not dependent on anyone or anything outside of us. It's inherent, it's eternal, and unshakable. So internalizing Saibhang also brings us inner freedom. It frees us from dependency on outer circumstances, material things, or other people for our own peace of mind. So we often think, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I'm in that relationship, when someone approves of me. But Saibhang teaches us that true peace and joy come from within, not from the external world. This understanding empowers us to face life with confidence and grace, no matter the situation. So most importantly, Saibhang reminds us of our inner strength. So when we see ourselves as self-sufficient beings connected to the divine, we stop seeking external validation. We stop fearing solitude or the opinions of others. We stand tall, knowing that the divine within us is complete and perfect. This sense of inner freedom is deeply liberating. It allows us to live authentically without fear and without relying on others to define our happiness. Imagine a life where you no longer depend on outside world for your peace and joy. A life where you feel whole and worthy simply because you exist. That's the power of internalizing Saibhang. It aligns us with the eternal truth of Oankar and helps us live free, confident and fulfilled beings. Embrace the truth of Saibhang, the self-existent divine essence within us all. Let us recognize our inherent worth, free ourselves from dependency and step into a life of true inner freedom. The last term of Mool Mantar is Gurprasaad. Only through Gurprasaad, and Gurprasaad is the divine wisdom, can we truly understand and internalize the presence of that Ik Oankar, the all-pervading creator. It's this divine wisdom that guides us, shapes our understanding and leads us toward unity with the infinite Oankar. But what is Gurprasaad? The word itself is deeply meaningful. Gur refers to that divine guidance, often imparted through a guru or spiritual wisdom, while Prasad means grace or blessing. Together, Gurprasaad represents the grace-filled wisdom that illuminates our path and allows us to recognize and internalize the divine virtues of Oankar. So why is Gurprasaad essential? Because the human mind, left to its own devices, often gets caught up in illusions of ego, desires, fears and attachments. These distractions cloud our vision and prevent us from seeing the divine essence within ourselves and the whole world around us. Oankar is ever present, but to experience and become one with it, we need the guidance and grace of that divine wisdom to break free from these illusions. Gurprasaad teaches us how to internalize the godly virtues of Oankar. These virtues include fearlessness, self-sufficiency, freedom from enmity, timelessness and oneness. By embracing these qualities in our lives, we align ourselves with the divine. For example, fearlessness, nirpao. We learn to rise above fear, knowing that the eternal Oankar resides within us. Freedom from hate, nirvair. We overcome enmity and live in harmony with all. Oneness, Ik. We see the unity of all creation, dissolving the barriers of separations created by our own mind. But this transformation does not happen automatically. It requires conscious effort, reflection and surrender. Through Gurprasaad, we are shown how to cultivate these virtues, not just as concepts we understand intellectually, but as truths we embody in our daily lives. This is how we move closer to the Oankar and eventually become one with it. So when we internalize these divine virtues through Gurprasaad, something extraordinary happens within us. We begin to experience the divine not as something separate or distant, but as an integral part of who we are. The barriers between me and the divine dissolves, and we experience oneness with the infinite creator. This realization brings profound peace, clarity, and joy because it reconnects us to our true nature. Gurprasad reminds us that this path is not one of struggle or force. It's a journey of grace, of opening ourselves to divine wisdom and allowing it to guide us. This requires humility and surrender, letting go of our ego and trusting in the divine wisdom that flows to us through grace. Let us embrace Gurprasad in our lives. Let us open our hearts and minds to that divine guidance that leads us towards the virtues of Oankar. By doing so, we not only gain the wisdom to navigate life's challenges, but also experience the ultimate truth of oneness with the Creator, who is present everywhere, in everything, and within each of us. And that's why it is Ik Oankar.